Neither cold nor ice can stop your march upon the Warchief's frozen lair. Spirits are high despite the trials you've endured, and the Dryad's plea to stop the intruders remain clear in your mind. Besides, you become so hardened to the frost by now you can barely feel its touch anymore. Determination and drive keep you warmer than any fire. At least that's what you hope. And it isn't simply that frostbite has completely numbed your extremities. But rushing to a certain death you won't be. The bugbear have proven themselves ferocious foes, and you know better than to try and take the fight straight to such bestial adversaries. No. To succeed, you have to lure the beast into fighting on your terms, and not his. Rather than brute strength, guile and cunning would be the order of the day. From what information you've gleaned from the butcher, the war chief achieves and maintains his status by bringing 3 enormous monsters to heal and employing them as enforcers. With that in mind, a simple strategy presented itself. Defeat as many of the monsters as possible. Then wait for blind rage to bring him to you. And in the unlikely event the war chief is a craven coward, that will only fight when no other option presents itself. Your plan still works regardless. Let the monster hunt begin. Welcome back to RP Gamepire. More importantly, we are chapter 22, and the group, how can I say this? They feel very predatory as they seek for the war chief, because with the butcher's help, and now grateful as they feel, even though they would never say so, because no enemy is their friend, but we all know, as they say, the enemy of my enemy is my best friend. And right now, they know they have arrived and not too far. They are hoping to bring an end to whatever lurks within the ancient forge that brings this misery around, and see what truth the hobgoblins speak, because it seems like the bugbear are bugging really low within the ancient forge, and whatever the reason may be. So let's see what would drive us further. We had to change some cards for the challenge aspect and the battle aspect. More importantly, the frozen rule still, continues, if you remember from the last few quests. And territorial behavior. When the party token is first placed in each of the marked areas of the breath, read the corresponding narrative entry. Okay, so basically, if we go from here to here, we read what goes on here. And then pretty much if we come here, we come here. Because this is the narrative bit. So when we come here, we go here. Now, the trouble that is from here is that if we code this path, we come here and we go here, we have to go here. But we could, in theory, go here, go here, go here if we want to go either side and really make this long, because there's nothing that's okay. The path here is one way, but nothing stops us from going back in this trail because it's connected in theory. So we could kind of come here and then decide to go here, and then decide pretty much to come here, and then maybe come here if we find that whatever it is wasn't the thing that we seeked. Now the enemies here are the Berserker, Hunter, Shaman, and Ice Elementals, and that's it. But we have wandering monsters that are pretty much new to us, and they're called the Ripper and the Cricks. Okay, the Cricks kind of looks dangerous because on a hit it also pretty much has a range of 1, so pretty much is a range attack, and it does 2 damage. And more importantly, when it flips to the other side, it goes really dangerous. It creates 2 serious wounds, and so this is a foe that we have to eliminate real quickly. The good thing is it's really weak on that status. Now for the Ripper, which we've never seen before, it's really dangerous because it kind of has a AoE that kind of does damage to everything. If this enemy is attacked after this resolving the attack, flip this card. So pretty much you flip it over, the Ripper, and pretty much, so to kill it, to do critical is really, really hard. Defensive protocol. This enemy can suffer wounds from magic attacks. Oh boy. If it is hit by magic attack, after the attack is resolved, flip this card at the beginning of this enemy's turn, flip this card. Okay. Basically, we have to, well, we could kill it outright by this. So if we don't kill it outright, we have to kill it outright. That's the trick here. If we don't kill it outright, it becomes this and becomes more dangerous, and basically it just goes in defensive mode. Okay, that's it. So that's for that. That's if we happen to run into events. And we're going to start right here. We're going to our favorite Outlast, if you remember. We're always trying to outlast. Alright. So we're going to have this right here. And don't forget we have in that, we're going to put 2 timer tokens. Okay. So, now that we set that up, again, if we happen to defeat the Slaughter Beast, alright, we read narrative this. If we defeat the Ethan, we read this narrative. If we defeat the Ogre, we read this narrative. Oh boy. So let's see what we could defeat. And in this case, I think it will be, for our sake, maybe it's going to be important to take them out, because we don't know what's going to wait for us when we confront the War Chief. Alright? And completing an encounter is 1 XP. So right now it's not about collecting XP, it's more about finding the War Chief. Let's begin the hunt. Alright, we're ready and we're set up. And more importantly, let's set up the marching order. And after that, we are pretty much ready for combat. Now, very, very important, as we know how it starts, pretty much room by room by room by room gets revealed. We don't have to have it dead center. We could have it pretty much here if we wanted to, just to give some space there. But for now, we'll keep it here. So we'll go from here. So, by the way, because there's no exploration, there is no revealing of those cards. So it's straight up combat, because it's pretty much, we're getting badly bruised here. Let the show and the Predatorial begin, but let's not forget the heroes have become more powerful and now more vengeful. So let's see what they can do. Don't forget, they have quite a few of things at this point. They have nothing in a sense of those statuses. I mean, toolkits are perfect, firewood's perfect, healing potions, charms, everything's perfect, and they have 5 gold, to start this off, this encounter quest, more like it. And they have this still on hold. They have the blue herb, they have the stone skill saw, blue herb, and they have the bracer of life, which I haven't used yet, green herb, elixir, and the copper bar, which I still have no clue what this is for. Alright, and reputation is very, very good here at this point. Alright, so let the battle begin. Let's see what's the first tile that we're going to run into. And it is, it's kind of pretty. Alright, so let's set this up and see what this is all about. So the foes are set up, the heroes are here. That is the first room, and every time the end of the event phase, we got this wrong. So right now we do not have the shaman appearing, which can be a good thing, and we have only the ice elemental, the hunter, and the berserker. The ice elemental is not that great because of its freezing ability. Okay, so we're gonna do this, and we're gonna set up the marching order. And as usual, we are going to try to get Forge Warden on top. Alright. And this is us trying to control the marching order. And this, alright, as best as we can. And alright. Hopefully it's good. Hex, no. 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 Really no. It's not the way I want it to go. But it is what it is. And we'll deal with it. Either ways, the foes are in the end. But there's something to keep here to notice. So don't forget, this is very, very important. So now there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 foes. So there's 5, -5 counter on this, even though I don't put the tokens. So that means when the event phase comes, it's going to be a -5. So depending on how many enemies that the event phase is. So this is not what I wanted, but Fate Song will go first. Where is my famous marker now? Alright, so Fate Song it is. First thing she's going to do is to inspire Light Weaver. And Light Weaver is going to get inspired to pretty much, well, to do, okay, so he will use obviously Chain Lightning, and please, 1, 2, so he could do that, okay, from here, so he's gonna use his attack to pretty much attack this one in range of 2, so 1, 2, by the way, nobody's here yet, and this is pretty much a zone, so they're a zone here, and range is 2. And by the way, he could extend his range if he wanted to, but he's not going to use that ability right now. The attack will be at an advantage. And 11 plus the 4 intelligence plus the 2, so plus 6, which is 17. 17 is way enough to make sure that it is a hit. Now the other thing is, and we were going against the Berserker, by the way. And that's a 6 critical. It worked. Because it was a critical, it says on a critical, after resolving the effects, apply the same effects to an enemy in an adjacent zone. So we're going to do this, and we're going to do this. So one thing at a time. So the Ice Elemental we have just eliminated, and we obtained 2 gold for that. I like that. We stand at 7 gold. Alright. And the Berserkers and the Hunters are now very, very angry. Okay, for her, that was well done, by the way. That was well done. For her second action, Fate Song. Okay, we don't need this here anymore. For her second action, what she is going to do, she will move in. And at this point, she would probably use. Alright, so Fire Soul's turn. And let's see what she's going to do. Oh. Fireball, Fireball. But I think she can do something more than Fireball. Let's see. Alright, she can do something wild, but. Alright, so let's see. Okay, this and this. Okay, she has range, she has this. Opportunity so inflicts fire an enemy with an attack. Okay. Alright, let's see what she does. And 15 is more than enough to try to knock out this little ugly looking buffoon, which she hit with 19. Okay, so we did that. We know we damaged it. And it's, wow, they're rolling lately. Okay, so it's a critical, so it's an automatic death sentence. So we're gonna remove this here, and we're going to obtain 1 gold. We're moving up. Alright, so now quickly let's see what she's going to do. I mean, she's not much of a damage dealer, but she inflicts, you know, conditions, which doesn't drive me that crazy about her. Okay. We're gonna Amber Alert. So let's try this on 1, 2, perfect range. Let's see, 8 plus 6, and that's 14, and that's enough to hit the berserker. We're good. Now let's see if we could do critical. Oof. No, that wasn't critical, but that's okay. And by the way, replenish a fate when you cause burn, by the way, and we'll just do a burn to this ugly looking only surviving berserker. You know what? We're gonna move on to Lightweaver. Okay, we're gonna move on to Lightweaver. And Lightweaver, what Lightweaver will do, he has all the damage output. So first thing he's going to do is the magic blast, or at least he's going to try to do the magic blast. And oh, no problems there. So, and again, 1, but when he rolls a 1, he does replenish a fate. But either ways, he does do a damage and push the enemy. So we're gonna push the enemy here. Yeah, that's for the first attack. And oh, let's not forget, it is wounded. Okay, so we need 1 more wound here, buddy. So anything, and oh, we got magic. No, we just did magic blast. And okay, so let's see if, you know what, we're gonna do the arcane bolt, and we use a fate, and 17. Wow. Okay, we don't even have to try, and at this point we know it's death. Oh, critical. It's a death sentence, and I like that. And we have eliminated this in the first. I mean, they all get eliminated within the first. Alright, so this is good. And we have eliminated the berserker, and we have obtained 1 gold, and this is off. Now for the banner, what it does is the you know, okay, so let's see what happens next. Okay, that was brutal and done with. So the heroes, well, there's new marching order at this point. The event phase does not transpire, and we're going to try to get the Forge Warden above. And to the last, well, we shall see what's the outcome of there. So we're going to move there, and they all can within reach of the 3 actions that are available to them. Well, we kind of have to push at the start here, and now this gets revealed. We have this to reveal and set this flows up for here. This had to be pushed aside because, well, this room is taking too much in a sense of space. So we're gonna, either ways, this has to be reset. Alright, and there is no real event phase because everything's going to be reset in the marching order very, very soon. So let's see what transpires. Let's set this up and kick some butt. There's not much going on there other than the berserker and the hunter, and we're gonna put that in. And hold on a second. And there's the ice elemental. I made a mistake. And there is the shaman. Oh boy, I made mistakes here. Okay, and I made a mistake even before, I believe. But okay, so either ways, there is the shaman and the ice elemental awaiting us dead on in the middle. So let's place our favorite friends and allies there. There you go. This has got more gruesome than we thought. So, oh yeah. So let's see how this is going to transpire. Alright, we'll try to make this as best as we possibly can. So let's see. Demon Blade, the Hex, Demon Blade, Berserker, Fire Soul, Shaman, Forge Warden, that's not good, Hunter, Fate Song, Nice Elemental, that's really wild. And as we can see, Demon Blade is the first to take action. Alright, it's Forge Warden's turn. And yeah, let's see what he could do. Well, he does have a bless. So he could use the blessing that he obtained before. But at this point, okay, so he's gonna go. He has a movement of only 2. That's a problem. So he wants to do judgment. So the first thing he's going to do, he's going to take. Do we eliminate the berserker? Yeah. Do we eliminate the berserker, or do we eliminate the hunter, which is coming soon? I say the hunter, which should be like this, by the way. Okay, so 1, 2, 1. So that's going to burn 2 of his actions, and he has only 1 action remaining, by the way. So he's going to roll 2 dice. Bardsung. We won't even try to explain that. And elimination. And by the way, we get back. We were supposed to use a fate. We get back to fate, so it's like he never used a fate. And we eliminated the hunter from the board, which is a good thing. And we obtained the gold. At this point, we're standing at 17 gold. At this point. That was his last action, but not bad, because this is good. It's gonna let Fate Song do it. Fate Song, she will. So, she will 1, 2, and he could use that extended range once, by the way, within the round or play. So he's gonna use it. So he's gonna come. He's gonna get 1, 2. Actually, he doesn't even have to use it. So she's gonna use Inspire. She's gonna use a Fate. By the way, this is so beautiful. I didn't have to use anything. Oh, sorry. Let's remove this. So to be on the safe side, it's not gonna be Chain Lightning. Just doesn't make sense. And thematically, and it's going to be instead. It's gonna be the Magic Blast. Alright, you got inspired to magically blast. And by the way, it is going to be this is 1 and 15. Phew, that was a 15, by the way, and that was done well. So that, okay, we know hit. That's a question of, do you do any damage? 4 plus 2 is 6, and that's enough. Critical, because he gets plus 2 on his damage, by the way, which is a good thing. And yeah, we have eliminated. And this brings an end, by the way, to this saga and story. Alright. And we have finished this. And this will provide us with 1 gold. I like that. And we stand at 18 gold. Alright, so this ends this, and this pretty much ends everything. And I think we have come to the end of the Outlast, and we are going to we're going to move forward here. I think we're going to go here first, and we're obviously going to read up what's here, but we're going to first come here, and maybe we're going to go back here, because we could, in theory, unless we plan to go here. So we're going to take the risk. We're going to come here, and instead of continuing here, we're going to decide to go back, because we could go back instead of going ahead, because we can only go ahead. Alright, on this path. So that means, like, once we come here, we can't go back. We can go back here, you know what I mean, which is awkward enough, but once you bring yourself here, I guess it kind of makes things change. So we're going to go and focus here, so hopefully I didn't confuse you on that. Alright, let's do this. The foul stench of rotting meat taints the air. One word would come to mind. Ogre. Well, we are going to face off an ogre. As we know, per the tale right here, and more importantly to know, is that we have the recipe. And this recipe, which we kept, well, allowed us to pretty much add something to this challenge aspect cards, and we'll see what happens. So now they're all standard crawls, pretty much moving forward as we seek out the Warchief. Alright, let the fun begin, as they say. Now there is a treasure chest here, which I don't know if I'm going to bother with, but that's a different issue. So let's set this up, let's get this ready. And we have doorways here, which we did not set up, by the way. And there is, so we know we're moving forward, that is. So hopefully there's nothing, well, there's no dead end. Alright, so there's no going to be any event phase, a real event phase, because pretty much the heroes are... Alright, so we're going to bring Forge Warren forward, and all the heroes will march forward, as you can see, and they have made it here. Now, for the next thing is, do I go for the treasure, Forge Warren? Meh, we'll skip it. Alright, so let's see what comes our way. Ooh, alright, so let's get that tile out, and... Alright, and it is this one in some form. Alright, and all directions, we're going to put it like that. The Forge Warden finds himself in there. Hopefully, it's a good one. And we have Bruiser's Gang. Oh boy. A group of bugbears sniff at you as you enter, but don't attack immediately. If the reputation track shows 2 or more corruption, retrieve... Well, we're not that corrupted. Oh boy. So, we don't return it. This will return to the vault, but in this case we don't, because if the reputation track shows less than 2 corruption, place 3 berserker models on this tile, on the spawn point. Oh boy. Okay. So we have berserkers in our presence, and we're going to add that very, very soon, but 3 berserkers pretty much have joined the heroes in this. This will be brutally quickly, as it's still Forge Warden's turn, and the beauty is Forge Warden has +6 to his defense. Wish I could add some more. Okay, this gets removed. Alright, so in this case, alright, we're gonna shuffle and see where we land. And as we try as always, let's try to get, ooh, what do you know? Fate Song, Lightweaver, oh boy. This is gonna be a decimation on the Berserkers. And okay, so it's Fate Song's turn. Fate Song will use 1 fate to pretty much use the inspiring presence. So she's going to inspire, and well, I don't think Light. Okay, so Lightweaver is going to get inspired, but he's not going to use Chain Lightning because they're all in the same zone, sadly. So, all right. So actually, they don't need to be tightly there because there's only 2 zones in this areas, and they're pretty much ready to attack. So he's going to do Magic Blast, and hopefully he can magically blast one of them. So he does roll with advantage, which is a good thing. And 1 and 19. I think we're gonna go for the 19. And the next thing is, ooh, that's terrible. Yeah, there's no rerolls or anything. All right. So, and because he rolled, by the way, 1, a natural 1, he does replenish a fate, which is okay, but even though it's a 2, because it's +2, but it's a natural 1. So he just does a damage and push. Okay, so we're going to damage and push one enemy out. That didn't work out the way we wanted, but that's okay, because that's going to work perfectly for the Chain Lightning later. Alright, so that's Cacophony's turn. I know it sounds so funny, but she's not done. She has 3 actions she could do, and what she's going to do in this case, she will do this. Alright, the attack can target a model next to Fate Zone. Alright, and she rolls, whew, this is terrible, 6 plus the 4, that's 10. Does she have anything to increase her attack? Plus 2 to defense, and re-roll the first attack. Okay, she can re-roll this. Whew, let's hope it's better, and it is. So 12 plus the 4, 16 is way enough to. When an enemy is defeated, so he wasn't defeated, so it doesn't get flipped over, by the way. So, and now she can roll for damage because she successfully rolled, if you're following, and she was still targeting this ugly brute. Yeah, so she's gonna do 1 damage. Okay, this attack because she has only a range of 1, so she can only attack that one. So she does 1. She pretty much eliminates this, which is a-okay, by the way, and I like that. And what's gonna happen now? And this is done for the 3rd action. She's gonna step into the room. At this point, she can, and not worried. And yeah, it's gonna be Lightweaver's turn, and the Berserkers are berserking. All right, now what Lightweaver will do? Well, there goes that idea of Chain Lightning, and what he will do is Arcane Bolt. It only makes sense because even if he misses, he replenishes the fate, but you don't want to miss, right? All right, and that's 15. Whew. He for sure hits with his bonus that he gets. So, and that's a 4 plus the 2, that's a 6, which is a critical, and that eliminates 1. I like that. Okay. Now that we did that, and if one forgot why he's able to do +2 is because he has the Ruby Cluster at +2 to damage rolls, hence why he's able to do that. Alright, so now that was just his first action. So for the next action, I could try Magic Blast, but he doesn't want to try Magic Blast. Okay, you know what? We're going to try the Magic Blast at this point. I thought he had something else to attack with, but I guess I was wrong. Alright. Wow. Okay, so let's see what he could do here. So he's gonna try to, and that's a 14. A 14 is good enough, and let's roll for damage. Ooh, 2 plus 2 is just 4, and you're just gonna do a regular damage and do a push, which is okay. It's just perfect. There's no sweat on that side, and you know what? We're gonna for your final action, by the way, what we're going to do, we could have done some other things to just ensure that he does the damage, but it's okay. Like we will just step in right here, and at this point it's Forge Warden's turn. Whew. Forge Warden can do a lot. So let's see. I mean, depends who you ask. Depends who you ask. Okay, so first things first, mechanical strike. All right. 19. Whew. Not anything's just pretty much, he's dead on the zone. Okay, that's it. That's all. We have no reason to further attack here, and we're just moving on. Whew. We are mighty. And let's see. Okay, that's that. All right. So we eliminate the Bruiser's gang. That was annoying. And this is eliminated. All right. Now there's a new marching order, by the way, and we earned ourselves a measly 1 gold coin. So, in a new marching order, we'll have Forge Warden above us all. All right, and that moves us forward. Forge Warden will take his action right here. The heroes will all come. Wait, and let's not forget, the doors will shut by Lightweaver, and he's able to be immune from frostbites. I still don't want to go there. So what we're gonna do is, well, pretty much we're gonna see what is the next tile. Ooh, that's not nice. That's not nice at all. All right, let's set this up, and we'll move on from there. Wow, this is pretty much very intense for the heroes themselves, because now we have the Berserker, the Hunter, the Ice Elemental, and the Shaman all in the party and ready to hinder the heroes from moving forward, but what they don't know, Forge Warden and the group are very vengeful and zealously seeking the War Chief at this point. But we have a battle aspect to handle, and hopefully it's merciful. Stalagmite formations, oh boy. Sharp pieces of stone sprout from the ground, painted by blood, old and new. If a hero is pushed while on this tile, they suffer. Okay, if the enemy is pushed, okay, we could dig that. I could dig that. Okay, but we have kind of a problem there to handle, and, well, not really a problem, but we're gonna handle it as we always have handled it. So let's see what pretty much transpires here. All right. Well, we are ready for this. So that's the current setup, and all right. So Forge Warden has his first action to do. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. You know what he's going to do? Well, the hunters are as threatening. Well, not in this case, but they become threatening when they turn. So we want to eliminate the Shaman and the Ice Elemental. So when this enemy is defeated, each model in the same zone suffers. Okay, all right. Let's go. Let's go bring it. And we're gonna go. We're gonna go after the. Oof. We're gonna go after the Ice Elemental. It only makes sense. Well, now it is all to Demon Blade after this massacre. Alright. And more importantly, some have taken a little bit of wounds, but they're A-okay. And more importantly now, let's try to eliminate this hunter before anything does occur. I'm going to spend a fate to empower, pretty much, to empower, what do you call it? And to empower our Demon Blade. So, oh, she's going to use the Devil Ash. And 11, plus 1, plus 4 well, pretty much. This is supposed to be on this way, by the way, so it's supposed to be a 12 here. But either ways, it's for sure a hit, just alone with this, 11 plus the 1. So she does hit. Now it's a question of, does she do the royal damage? She rolls 2 dices, by the way. Level 3 doesn't change pretty much. Yeah, it's still the same. From what I see, let's see this. Sorry, we're gonna do this together. So this is an 8-sided die. Ooh, is this different? And then you got this. Yeah, I believe this is a 12-sided die. So it got more powerful. So, okay, we could dig that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, 12-sided die. You got some mean blood in you, and yeah, that didn't work too well, did it? We managed to. Oh boy, this is not going to be nice. Managed to wound. I mean, wound this hunter. Actually, there's only one hunter, so might as well. If the enemy is next to the hex card, the marching order, this attack can be rerolled. Oh wow, it is. Okay, good that you read. Okay, ooh, okay. 5 and 1. Not that it makes any difference, right? Oh boy, if they're gonna hit an enemy on their card and the hex card is the more. To Plenish of Fate. That's good to know, but we still do just 5. Oh, wait a minute, it's a critical. 5 and a 1. It's a critical. So, okay, so we eliminate it. So we don't wound it, we eliminate it. Wow. Okay, we got lucky there. I wish I could take the treasure. Yeah, nothing happens here. Oh boy. All right, moving right quickly forward, and yep. So now there's a new marching order because this gets removed. We obtain 1 gold, and we're at 21 gold. Not bad. 21. All right. So we're gonna do this. And we're gonna try to get Forge Warden on top. Oh, that doesn't look good. All right, whatever. Let it be. And yeah. So now that we did new marching order, there's no event phase. So we move quickly forward, and just to save time. Okay, so we're gonna go all move forward, and because there's only 2 tiles, there's no event phase, no event rolling, and yeah. So at this point, now we're gonna use a toolkit because we're gonna search what's gonna go up there, and I'm scared to see what's gonna go up there. And the stairway is gonna appear, but we got this kind of doorway going, which is fine in some form. And all right. So let's, okay. And, and let's see what is transpiring here. All right, so we got the stairway, that's for sure, that appears. And we have Forge Warden, who has opened this door. And we have 1 challenge aspect card, and it says, the ogre pokes about a measly carcasses, clearly upset about the lack of meat on this bone. Can you offer it more appealing meal? This hero makes a target number 12 action roll. If they pass, retrieve card from the narrative. If they fail, place the ogre. Ooh, we pass. So let's see what narrative 9 has to do. Well, I would have rather faced off the ogre, but let's see. Oh my god. Ogre's betrayal. The pleased ogre lurches to its feet and stomps away to find ingredients. Looks like you won't have to fight it after all. Keep this card on your inventory. It counts as the ogre slain card. Search the challenger aspect card for cards 13, 14, and 15 and return them to the vault. If you already have either the Slaughter Beast Slain or Eden Slain cards and haven't already done so, read narrative entry 295. 285. Okay, so, I don't think I have. We have just added this 3 challenge aspect cards, and not knowing what they are, hopefully they're good. But we're going to find out soon enough, as the heroes have pretty much valiantly, and we're going to shuffle this later, valiantly made their exit. We lost some treasure, but that's okay. And now we are going to push forward here as we still stay within the narrative. Sorry about that. We kind of got a little bit lost. So we're going to continue here on this path because we could always return and try to go here, but we're going to continue on this narrative right here. And let's see what transpires from here on. Well done, fearsome as it was. Poles line the corridors, bloody heads driven onto their sharp points. It looks like the beast doesn't much discriminate between adversaries. You see bugbear, hobgoblin, and wandering monster heads, along with those of humans, elves, and dwarves. Raging vengeance and anger. Succumb, Forge Warden. Well, interesting. So, sorry for the glare. We could proceed as we planned to right here, but instead we could. Nothing stops us. This passageway is clear, as you can see, because once we come here, we're stuck because of the arrow right here. If you can notice that, then we cannot trail back, but we can always trail back this way. But either ways, because we were able to handle the ogre, and pretty much we wiped out the ogre, I think there's a relevancy story to here, hence why we added some challenging aspect cards. We're gonna trail here and try to see what here, and we're going to do that because we already added some of the challenge aspect cards, and what we're going to do is try to trail right here and try to find out pretty much what we can clear up here and how we can proceed from here. This is going to be very, very interesting, because as we seek out the war chief, I think the war chief will come for us, or we get to him indirectly. So let's see how we can trail through here going forward. This is going to be interesting. Again, there's a treasure, and they're all standard crawls. I'm not going to bother with the treasures. Yeah, let's push this forward and keep it simple, as they say. All right, so as prior experiences, we are going to move forward, and right now we're going to put all the amazing heroes. Usually it's set like that, so forgive me on that one. And we are ready to start. Now the heroes have become mightier and deadlier in some form, and we always want to get Forge Warden to start. Alright, so Forge Warden will push through, and this is where it gets kind of worrisome and a little bit dangerous, because I think he's going to go here and he's just going to explore, and we're going to just see what is going to transpire right now. Alright, so let's explore. And what do we know? We have, we pretty much have this challenge aspect card to handle, and don't forget we're trailing on the other side. So let's see what this challenge aspect will be as we go for this. Let's find the tile right now. So interesting enough, there's monster bait. There is a rotting corpse here, disgusting to you, but a ripe treat For the creatures prowling this depths, something I can't read. The heroes can't rest on this tile. Place a corpse token on this tile's spawn point. If an echo token is placed in the same area as the corpse token, discard both tokens. That's interesting. Kind of blocks an echo token, which is kind of nice in some way or form if you want to look at it. So let's put a corpse right there, and we're okay. So we're gonna let Forge Warren come. Well, he's there, so pretty much he can come right here. We're gonna remove this. We're gonna put this at the bottom. We're gonna remove this because it's no longer relevant, and we're gonna push forward right here. And yeah, the heroes are just gonna all move quickly, beside Forge Warden. And as we know, Lightweaver will close the doors and doesn't have to worry about frost bites. Alright, that's very, very okay. So now that they did that, let's push forward and decide to see. And there's no reset of marching orders as always, so it's more of moving forward. So as we know, we're gonna just push forward and we're gonna see what happens and transpires right here. And yeah, that's not fun. I mean, that is kind of fun and not fun at the same time. I think sometimes you can end up trailing and having really like nothing happening, which is a possibility, as they say. And I believe this is like this. So we're gonna maybe go after that treasure after all, because we're gonna have a passageway going right here and maybe like this way. So let's do this challenge aspect card and handle one thing at a time. So we're gonna pretty much have an earthquake going on here. Okay. So this is interesting. How does this work? The ground shakes. The hero makes a target number of charisma action roll. If they fail, they go, okay. Well. Barely passed it. 6 plus 3 Forge Warden is 9. So not bad. He's okay. He passed it. Okay, so if he passed it, call your allies for help. Place any number of heroes from the previous and current tile. Okay. Alright, so that's like a free move kind of almost. And we're going to stay right there. And we don't have to read the rest because we didn't fail. Alright. So, yeah, moving right along on this trail. So, let's see what transpires as the hero. Well, pretty much moves here, here, and there's no doorways here. So as we come here, we're going to explore further. And again, there has been, if you've watched the prior videos, sometimes standard crawls where it's just like, really, we didn't face anybody. Sometimes in corridors, we have faced some foes. But in general, sometimes it could happen in rooms we didn't. Well, okay, this doesn't make it easier. We managed to slaughter some of them, but as we kill more of these bugbears, this is very deadly and troublesome card, and pretty much adds more to their alright, initiative. And okay, so let's see. We're gonna have to try to eliminate this hunter. It's Lightweaver's turn. 12, so it doesn't really matter. So Lightweaver will try to use one of the fates. Okay. And we're going to use Chain Lightning. Kind of looks familiar to me. Oops, that was in the way. I'll say reroll. Okay. 11 plus 4. Is there anything else? Plus 6. We have plus 6. Okay, so plus 6, that puts it at 17. But don't forget, ooh, we passed by 1. If you understand what I mean, we passed by 1 because they get plus 4 initiative, and that's deadly in a sense of troublesome. I know one would argue that a little reroll there, but tapped it, and I say unfair. Okay. We're gonna roll now for damage to see on the chain lightning if it's critical or not, and that is amazing. That's called a 1, and if you add the 2 plus that he gets, just regular damage to that hunter, and that pretty much doesn't do anything for us. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. But he gets another chance at it. But the thing I don't like about it is because, well, anyways. Alright, we're gonna use another fate token. And hopefully there's no disturbance in that roll. And this is an amazing one. We get to replenish a fate and say, oh boy. And for the last attack, we're gonna do just a regular magic blast. And hopefully we can and by the way, we pledged 2 fates because the other one, if you, by the way, where was it? It was at Arcane Bolt, yeah. So we missed on it, so we rolled a 1, which you replenish a fate automatically, but also a miss makes you replenish. Okay, so anyways, we have Magic Blast 18. We have 18 right now. 18. Alright, so let's roll for damage. Anything will do. Oh, again, a 1. That's a terrible roll, but we do remove the hunter in that sense. So we do remove the hunter from the whole thing. So that's pretty much good. So we remove the hunter, we obtain 1 gold, but things just became more complicated for us as well. We look for 1 more gold. We're looking for 1 more gold to place. Let's see. Alright, so this moves things up, but it just complicates things even more for the group itself, because now it's going to be just tougher to eliminate this berserker. And well, he pretty much finished his actions and his turn. Now it's Fate Song's turn, and whew. So what Fate Song will use is 1 to inspire Fire Soul to do the fireball, by the way. And ooh, now let's see. Actually, you know what? With the plus 6, I don't want to take a risk. I'm gonna inspire Lightweaver because he gets plus 6. So we're gonna start first with the Magic Blast, and we're gonna try to pretty much hit this berserker. Whew. And that didn't go too well because again, whatever. Now I'm gonna try. Well, pretty much that was a failure. So now Fate Song will try to walk in and use its cacophony, because it's not really a cacophony. And if you remember, where is that most lovable spell? She will try to. It says that the attack can target. The damage roll is empowered. Okay, so the damage roll would be empowered, and that's 14. 14 plus 4 is 18. 18 plus the 6, 18. That's a tie, so that means it's a pass. So we're gonna make, based on this, it's pretty good. But don't forget, it's got -1 toughness, so that's 3 to be critical there. And because this attack roll is empowered, that means also that she can roll this. So basically increases the oh wow, we rolled just super good, so it doesn't matter either ways. It is a critical hit. Wow, that was unbelievable. Yeah, sometimes she can surprise you. And this will give us a gold, as we know. So this one is going to become a 5, and we're going to remove. Oh wow, we're very rich. Okay, so we're removing the berserker. We kind of removed this because there's no more enemies in our sight. Ooh, this got interesting. And yeah, so this berserker is gone. And well, the banner effect, well, pretty much we're gonna say now new marching order gets dealt, always. Okay, and we're gonna shuffle until we know Forge Warden is the master here. And we're going to use his first action to remove the banner. And he's just gonna roll here, and everybody's gonna follow kind of suit right there. Ooh, sorry about that. And so, right now we're there. Let's see how things transpire. Well, sadly, if you notice, we made a mistake here. And the mistake is that from a room to a room, it should be a corridor. So mistakes are done, whatever. We faced off the foes, we beat them. It was a mistake. And now we're up and into a corridor. We managed to get the treasure. We have gone to the stairway right now where we are kind of there. There is no foes to face, but we do have the marching order. And the marching order, not marching order, but the challenge aspect card that we have happened to got is, it's the entrance to the Warchief'S domain at last. Time to rid the world of this foul intruder, unless you want to defeat his final beast first. The hero makes a target number 10 action roll. If they pass, this card can be discarded. So we're going to try to pass that target number 10, and we did, which pretty much, if they pass, this card can be discarded. Turn to pin. Oh boy, it's a fair fight, and we're going to face off the Warchief. So we move directly, and we do not need to pretty much, at this point, it doesn't end this current encounter because of the fact that now we get carried into a different battle style. So we're going to wipe up the board and reset everything. And we're going to come back. We're going to fight off the Warchief. But before we go, just a reminder of the treasure we got, because knuckle bookmark again. So discard this card to automatically pass on an action roll. So it's not bad of a treasure at all, I must admit. And you know what? I'm actually excited to face off this, Warchief, because we have quite a few items in our bag. We have the blue herb, remove a condition, right? We have the stone skin, which pretty much when this hero is attacked, they can use this card to pass the defense roll without rolling the dice. Okay, but they kind of get this condition, which can help. Well, this condition I'm talking about is fatigue. Well, we can remove that in some way. I know Forge Warden could. We got the blue herb, remove a condition token. All right, we got the Bracer of Light, which pretty much heals everybody. Green herb, elixir, and a copper bar. I have no idea what the copper bar does. All right, but in the end, this is pretty much it. And let's set it up, and we'll go from there. With a mighty bellow, the slaughter beast crashes into the ground, a pool of blood expanding beneath it. Alas, you know from experience, this is one creature which does not respect the natural order of things, and has a disturbing tendency to regenerate, even from death itself. Some might say that it's canny survival, but you call it cheating. Once a creature is dead, they should stay that way, and not turn up again for a second go. There's no guarantee this one will regenerate, but better to not wait around to find out. One of the Warchief's beastly allies lies dead, while the other cowers away, surely enough to bring the Fane out from hiding soon. But do you want to confront him on his terms or yours? The bugbear Warchief sizes you up and down. Although far from the most physical, imposing, or terrifying specimen of his tribe, he instead carries an air of cunning and experience. This will be a wily foe that has long since learned to use his wits to survive and succeed when brute force is lacking. As you watch, he raises a fist, At first, you think it a respectful salute, although before you can offer the same, a violent magical storm takes root in the center of the chamber. With a foolish grin, you realize the war chief has instead conjured wintry enchantment to aid his cause, and will offer no such honor. In this chamber of ice and frost, pelting snow flies in all directions, and the world is lit in eerie blue light, the very opposite of the warmth and familiarity found in the Dryad's realm above. You can think of no more apt place to smite the intruder's rune once and for all. So we are ready to take on the war chief, and he is a fearsome. Now, we have faced two bosses up to now, but this one brings it up to another level. And we're going to start talking on the first part, explaining each part, as it can be very confusing. Again, remember that when we attack, this is our target number that we try to beat. But when the war chief attacks us, well, we defend against this target number. And don't forget, these cards have double-sided. And they go into the marching order, and that will be very crippling. This stays on the side. It never goes in the marching order. Now, the war chief, what we have to know about him is that every time there's an occurrence where we get pushed, we always get pushed to the center of the board. And the center of this board is where the war chief will be very soon. But that's what we have to know right now. So we always get pushed that way. So we're never going to find ourselves, where we get pushed around on the sides. Any push is always to the dead center, no matter what. So now setting this up, luckily now seeing this, we've been lucky enough, the chance was there, and we've seen how it was, even though one can say I've been quite lucky up to now, most cases, that I didn't face off the horde or got ambushed. So instead we have a fair fight, and the fair fight, it means it's us against the war chief, okay? And now, these two cards, and this will be slated like this. So what happens is these two cards, are going to be at the end of the cycle. What is usually the terminology is used that they will be placed in this delay slot. So there's usually a 1 or 2 delay slots. So just think of it after everybody's said and done. It's the event phase. At the event phase, that's what occurs. Okay. Now we have the shuffle, the Horsfrost, which is this one, and the Hailstorm, and the Squall initiative cards, and with the Hero initiative reference cards, and deal the starting march order. If the heroes follow the ambush, or no, where they didn't do the ambush, okay. So that pretty much settles that. If all 5 of the, I think this is a typo or a mistake because there's no 5 of the War Chief initiative cards. Alright, there's only 3 of them, or I guess they were talking about 5. This or the the 5 that we have to defeat. I don't know, this one has an initiative. I don't know if we could take it down, oddly enough, because these ones are kind of weird a little bit. At the start of the end phase, make this attack against each hero in the center zone. Okay. Well, this is very crippling. And we have to defend against 13. Okay, so that makes sense. That's the target number we have to defend against, and there's no way to avoid it. How convenient is that? Now, if the hero begins this turn with a frostbite, they make a target number 12 constituted against. If they fail, they can't make move actions or use this symbol again. Is dodge, so the attacking model can be placed in energy, so they cannot dodge basically an attack. After rolling, a hero can exhaust firewood token to discard the frostbite token and count as a passing the roll. Tenacious, this boss encounter has 2 stages. Oh boy. So the first time we're just gonna fight him off, okay? And the first stage ends when the second phase stage begins. And when the second stage begins, you roll a die 4, and pretty much these enemies are pretty much we're going to resolve. Now we have taken care of I believe, was the ogre and the slaughters be slain. We have not slain the Etin, which means pretty much we're going to have to roll for this. But when we're going to get to that part, we will do that. Now, let's face off this war chief. And this war chief is not a very, very nice guy, I tell you. Okay, so let's see how we're going to be able to manage this. Please do put your comments and criticism or questions, and I'll gladly help and answer as best as I possibly can. But I think we're facing off someone very, very cruel indeed. So the first things first, we could put the heroes wherever we want, and we obviously want, it's weird enough the designs, but we could put them in the space of 2 right here. That's what we're going to do, because we want to keep them as close as we possibly can against, well, Demon Blade, face your enemy. We want to confront the war chief as much as we can, as soon as we can, off the bat right away. Let me set up the war chief himself. We have found the war chief, and he has made his presence against us, and he is pointing to Forge Warden. Oh, yeah, if he only knows how valiant it is. Now, we have one toolkit used, but we have everything else resourcefully unused, and we have about 25 goals, so we're gonna go in the clear. We have items that we pretty much can use, don't forget, if ever in deep danger, and I think we have to valiantly go deep into it and fiercely beat him down. So let's start this, and again, let's not forget, as discussed, this are in the end event phase, and right now we could have it lined up like this. I mean, at the start of the event phase, one can say, and this gets shuffled right in. And again, we must try our best to get Forge Warden at the start. And this is a flap, and this is a go, and this is going to be very, very, oh, we kind of screwed up. We kind of made Lightweaver go first, but okay. It is what, oh, terrible. What the heck's to be, I'm not going to argue on this. This could be good, and this could be bad at the same time. So, when there is another enemy pushes a hero, okay, so we're good there. Don't forget, we got 3 actions. The heroes can do a lot of things, okay? So, let's make sure we properly have this all going straight. And we must bring a maximum damage to this amazing. So just think of it this way: we have to damage him 6 times, because in theory that's, once this, and then we get it off, and it becomes more dangerous when it goes on the flip side. So here, charge closest hero, they all charge. And they're not that scary, except for the frostbite. But when we turn it around, like let's say this one, yeah, it just becomes more and more dangerous. Okay, so we gotta try to avoid it as best as we can. Try to call it heroes with frostbite tokens have disadvantage defense rolls against this attack. Oh boy. Yeah, so we gotta get rid of this as soon as possible, because it's not that nice. And this one is pulsating, and that's pulsating. What it means is that the enemy attacks every hero in their attack range. Okay, so that's very, very important. And the attack range is 1, so that means he'll be able to, hit anybody on this vicinity. Okay, we're ready to start, and it's Lightweaver, and Lightweaver luckily has range. Okay. Luckily has range. Okay, so let's see what Lightweaver will do. Alright, the first thing to mention, luckily, Lightweaver is immune to burn and frostbite. So that's a good thing, per se. And if this hero hits an enemy with an attack, after attack, it may spend fate. Okay. Alright. You know what? So let it be. Okie dokie. The weird thing about this is that, one hit kind of nullifies it. Usually, like, there's, you gotta hit it and hit it again, but I guess 2 hits will do right. So what we're going to do is, let's see. So the first thing, I mean, chain lightning doesn't make sense at this point. So the first thing we will try is we're going to do the magic blast because it doesn't cost anything. All right, does not cost anything. Now, he can do something called elemental magic. If this hero attacks an enemy suffering frostbite or burn, the attacks or damage are empowered. No, he's not. Range extender, no. Overcharge, okay. Okay, so making a damage roll, upgrade to the die. Before making a damage roll, this hero may upgrade the die. If the damage roll does not cause a critical hit, the hero suffers a wound. Whew. And he does a level 6, so level 8. So the chances of that is very slim, even with his +2, because you got to do roll a 7. So I'm just trying to analyze here the characters. So he could overcharge his damage, but with increasing and upgrading the die from die 6 to a die 8. But because you have to roll a 7 or greater, just alone that dice is very slim chance there. Also, if my math is correct, you have a 20% chance, but with the +2, kind of extended to, like, you have a 30% chance, I would say, a 30-40% chance. All right, excuse the math. So let's focus back. He's gonna do first a magic blast. He has the range for that, and let's see what's gonna happen. So let's bring back our amazing die rolls. All right. Just 1 second. I hope you can follow me on this one. Okay, so let's roll. Ready to roll. And we rolled an amazing 2, and 2 is not a good start. All right, so we move on for his arcane bolt. We're gonna use this. So, and this is not gonna start good. So it's +6. Ooh, right on the spot. So we do manage to hit the target number, by the way, which is a good thing. So now we can roll for damage. And no comments. When making the damage roll, we'll die 6. Okay. You can discard the lowest die. That's a good thing to note. I like that, but I just don't like the way it was rolling so far. So we're gonna take this 2. So 3 plus the 2 is a 5, which is not enough, by the way. It's not enough, but we do 1 damage, which is not critical, and pretty much it brings it right here. So that's a good start. I mean, not a good start. I mean, that's an okay start. So we did Arcane Bolt, and we did the Magic Blast. So we have 1 more attack we could do, and we could do the Ice Blast. That could be interesting. We could do the Ice Blast, but the Ice Blast is kind of almost useless. So we're going to do instead the Chain Lightning, even though it has no really relevancy, but we're just trying to get 1 more attack here. So we're going to do again. Okay. 17. Plus the 6, we hit it for sure. So now it's a question of damage. And roll 1 for damage. We do get back 1 fate. So we do in the end eliminate this. So this got eliminated. Good. Well done for your 3rd action. Forge Warden, I hope you have better luck, my friends. So what Forge Warden will do is valiantly use his 1st action, okay, to move 2, and he could move up to 2 spaces. So you move here, here, but now he's gonna face off the war chief. Oh my god, he's taller. Look down on me when I'm talking to you. Okay. Jokes aside, what will you do, laddie? Okay. Now that he attacked, so we're gonna do first is Mechanica Strike. If this attack roll has advantage, the damage roll is empowered. Well, what do you know? It is not. Sadly so. And that's a 9. And a 9 plus. Do we have anything that give us anything? Just give me one second. Well, as your second action, you missed. So we'll leave it at that. Because 9 plus the 3 charisma you have is not enough. Alright, so that's Mechanica Strike. Sadly so, but and let's use Judgment. And we're just using anything to pretty much do what we can to damage you. So, second attack. Oh, Bardsung, critical, 2 damage. We are off again. And we also replenish 1 fate. Bardsung, bombard. Alright, that's a good roll. And that was, by the way, your third action. Alright, so, and the third action was the best action, I'd say. Okay, so we have one more, and we're doing great. And now we need to get a Demon Blade right here. Alright, so, we might be able to avoid this. Now the heroes, as you can see, or we're rolling lucky, or they're fighting lucky, and, or, something is afoot here, because basically we're doing very well. So, now Demon Blade will use her first turn to walk into, and she has also a movement of 2, by the way. Now, her special thing is, if a Demon Blade hits an enemy between, oh, okay, it's not between, okay, so forget about that. Alright, so let's see what Demon Blade will do. And the thing about Demon Blade, she can't equip any equipment. She has no equipment. Gear, extra gear on her weapons, but her weapons are deadly in some form or shape. Because her Soul Reaper, what it does is shuffle the hex into the marching order, and she can ignore an attack with the hex, removing the hex. And also her Demon's Anger allows her to attack very suicidally, and she has 1 armor, which is not bad, not great. So the first thing we're going to do, so that's already one action. We're going to use the Devil Lash, because she likes to let her tongue out. Don't ask any more questions on that one. And she rolls 16 plus her 4 strengths, which is way more than what we need. Now we're going to roll her die. Is it die 8? I believe it's no longer a die 8. Yeah, it's not a die 8, but instead of die 10, can be a little bit confusing. Yeah, there's a die 10 and a die 6. Sorry for that. Ooh, oh my god. Okay. Yes. Alright, so we're going to do that. We're going to roll that. But before that, we just spilled some things over. So just give me 1 second on that. Alright. Yeah, we have a lot of equipment, a lot of gear, and the heroes have just become much, much mightier. And it makes it tougher because they have so much variety and they don't want to rush into their decisions. Okay, so we know what Demon Blade will do. She will roll this, and wow, this is just terrible, by the way. So either ways, she rolled die 10 2. So whatever, we just do 1 damage, right? And she gets to attack again for her final attack. She will do. If this attack defeats the target, Demon Blade adds an additional +4 to their strength and and intellect to the remainder of the round. Okay, not that we care much. So let's see. We're gonna use a fate. All right. And the beautiful thing is, for her final attack, and that is a 19. We won't even count the strength. So that was near Bardsung. And we got even more pathetic. We went from 2 to 3. Woo, that's progress. But it's all that we needed to defeat the war chief. It was an easy battle. I'm sorry that it wasn't that, but the heroes are pretty much valiant and powerful and strong and formidable and like real valiant heroes. And they've traveled down deep into the catacombs of the ancient forge that they've only strengthened and emboldened, and actually they're very upset with the war chief, so they're very vengeful. So at this point we defeated that. We defeated the war chief, and he's not fully defeated, but he moves out of our pretty much sight, and then we kind of move back and push back a bit there. So now let's see what happens, because at this point, it was a fair fight, but we didn't really defeat it because the boss encountered, he's tenacious, so that means the boss encounter has 2 stages. The first time the War Chief initiative card is removed from the marching order, the first stage ends and the second stage begins, okay? So, the War Chief initiative card is removed from the marching order, and it pretty much was, And when the second stage begins, roll a die for. So, the first time a War Chief initiative card is removed from the marching order, the first stage ends the second stage. So there might have been a mistake here, because depending how you read it, the first time a War Chief initiative card is removed, okay, and we removed 3 of them. So in theory, the second stage should have started. If a hero has after placing enemies, this marching order, roll a dice. Card into the marching order to begin a new round. Storm Rager. Okay, the next time War Chief initiative card is removed from the marching order, shuffle the remaining card. If the results are 1 and 2, let me read into this. So I pretty much did defeat the War Chief, but for those that would like to do it more properly, okay, what I believe you should have done is, just for you better understanding, is that when this was like this, and it was more like this, I believe, but the moment I removed and defeated this, then there was supposed to be a new marching order, and this new marching order would have brought in the Etin slain, and we would roll a die 4, okay? So after placing the enemies, adding a new card. Okay, so what we're going to do is, when the second stage begins, because the second stage begins the moment I remove 1 of the War Chief's initiative cards, and you roll a die 4 entry below and placing the enemies there. Now, because based on we defeated the Slaughter Beast, slain one of his commanders, and the Ogre also, we didn't slay him, but we kind of tricked him into leaving. And the Etin is pretty much, well, the only one we didn't go after and slay, because we got the card that pretty much have a fair fight. Then pretty much you will roll a die 4. So what you're going to do is, in this case scenario, just to explain to you, for you to have done it right, because the War Chief is kind of dead now. We can't rewind the tape there. But we would have to roll a die 4, and this is 2. So what would going to happen is the Etin would have gone to spot 2, and which would have been troublesome because it would have been where the heroes start off from. And the heroes can't start off from there because that's where they start. Okay? And now, the Shaman also, we're going to roll again the die 4, and pretty much there now is 3, etc., etc. Now, there was also another mistake. This and this would have stayed as such. Alright? Only thing is the War Chief is pretty much would have been gone, and etc., and the War Chief will just appear at pretty much based on the understanding here, okay, so then you, after you do all that, by the way, adding new cards to the marching order, you roll, so you roll a die 6. If the result is 1 and 2 and 3, you would have put the Storm Rager initiative card, so you would, and pretty much, so you don't add that card that you pretty much roll the die 6 here. So you're going to roll a die 6. I know it's getting confusing, but you pretty much, what's going to happen, you roll a die 6, and you're going to, or on a 1, 2, 3, you're going to add the Storm Rager, or 4, 5, 6, you're going to add the Chill Summons. Now you don't put it, you don't change the marching order. The next time, again, you remove another card, then you, again, reshuffle the marching order with the Ithin, Shaman, Berserker, unless you're slaying them, which is a totally different thing. But in the end, that's what's going to happen, and that's what put an end. But right now, we have slain him. Right now, we kind of, did the very short, fusing kind of fair fight. And it was a really quick, fair fight. So, because of that, and now we're going to see what happens in the final encounter. Now, let's not forget... And we have done this. Okay, so pretty much we're gonna find out what's gonna happen. Story moving on. Let's see this, and we have gained whatever XP we could gain, because if you see here, by completing this quest, just to make sure that you see it, we have obtained 1 XP for this amazing deed. But there was much more XP that we have gained, because as we have slain, again, we have not really slain the ogre, but we have fooled him out of it. So I don't know if that is interpreted as the same thing. But defeat the ogre, and you read narrative 267. And if you read 267, which is pretty much the story that we're going to reveal, and 267. All right. You'll see that pretty much each hero gains 3 XP and read narrative N17 from the narrative vault. And search the well, if you haven't already done so. So pretty much return. So each hero pretty much an N17 narrative. All right. N17, just for all of you to know. And I mean, I don't think we have that. Nope. Nope. And that's the Slaughter Beast Slain, by the way. And okay, so N17, what N17 will be doing, let me show you that. Alright, so let's see. N17. So, Ogre slain. The fearsome ogre is dead, and now you are a step closer to the war chief. Keep this card in your day if you already have it slain, or the ending card they haven't already in. Well, I don't have per se both and the other. So the ogre is not, by the way, slain. So that's the weird thing about it also. So, okay. So, very, very nice. And we have managed to finish it without confusing this ending even more. The war chief, the way it ended is a little, the battle sequence is a little bit different from the way it is. We did defeat him, but not the proper way, which is because he's tenacious. So there's 2 rounds to his battle. In the second round, he kind of summons a little bit some foes of those that generals that you did not slain, and he also adds pretty much another, initiative card. All right, 1 only, and that will make, after you remove another of his initiative card, it will make you reset the marching order, so you can do that. So it got even more kind of confusing in some form. So thank you for watching. Place your comments. I hope I cleared up on how the war chief plays out. More importantly, how the story plays out. The Bugbear Warchief'S is dead, and your promise to the Dryad fulfilled. The interlopers would soon be no more, and nature could thrive once again. Although you consider the act of taking a life an unfortunate necessity, you'll permit a swell of pride for your work in this frozen den. This was a challenge like no other, and to stand triumphant, having seen the deed to its end, was likely worth being Bardsung alone. All at once, the ice starts to shudder, breaking away with a gentle flicking movement. At first, you look around, fearing an avalanche, but suddenly a burst of snow white butterflies erupts around you in a fluttering cloud. You're stuck speechless by the sight. Each is a living ice sculpture, pristine and perfect. As you watch the glittering insects dance, you feel a warm blessing surge through you, chasing away the cold on Snowflake's soft wings. Your eyes find the war chief and observe the same tiny creatures settled on the brute, enveloping his gruesome carcass in a pale cloak. It starts to shine with a piercing brightness, forcing you to shield your eyes lest you be blinded. Between your fingers, you see the light expand until the entire chamber is lit like a cloudless sky. And then suddenly the butterflies vanish, taking the war chief with them. In the creature's place is a strange stone about the size of a fist. It glows with pale, iridescent light. Yet, when you grasp it in your hand, it feels warm to the touch. That, intones a low, sonorous voice, is the Stone of Ages. Its presence means that the gods, who have long been watching your actions, have decided upon a blessing for the path you have chosen to walk. You don't know how long the mysterious stranger has been watching, but that feels entirely irrelevant. The gods? What dominion do they have in the ancient forge? The hooded figure waves his hand, and with a long, scraping sound, a door slides open in the rock wall beside them. The rest of your path awaits you. Walk forth to see where it will lead. You look at your companions with trepidation, but then steel yourself as Forge Warden steps through.